wondered what gave rockstar drummers such a good sound? Well, a large aspect of what makes those rock drummers sound so good is the way they effectively tune their drums. I feel like I have a credible account of how to tune drums based on my 2 years recent university experience studying percussion at the university level. To get started, I'll explain a few terms involved in drum recognition. First, this is a drum rim. This is what holds even pressure around the entire drum head and holds it to the shell. The shell is the chamber of sound that helps resonate and get a nice effective sound out of your drum. Next, you have the drum head. This is the surface you actually play on and effectively puts a column of air through the drum chamber so you can hear a good sound. And lastly, you have the lugs. The drum lugs are what you use to tighten the drum head onto the shell to produce an effective sound. Alright, now I will demonstrate how you would effectively tune a drum. First, you're going to place the drum head onto the drum. Label side up, so the rim is facing it. Next, you will place the rim over the lug placement holes so that you can see them through the drum rim, as shown. Next, you will place individually every lug into its proper place. It was at this point that I would like to emphasize that I'm not the best drum tuner, and the best way to get drums sounding good is through experimentation in the tuning process. Okay, that's at this juncture where you're going to finger tighten all the lugs. You're going to want to do this in a diagonal fashion so as to evenly apply pressure on the drum head. You're going to do this in a circular motion. And you're going to do it with the lugs across from each other, because if you do the lugs one at a time, you unevenly apply pressure and therefore you can contort the drum head. You're just going to want to screw the drum lugs on until the washer is snug in between the drum lug and the drum rim. Alright. You're going to want to check to make sure that they're all at the same amount of evenness, because that one was a little loose. Alright, and now you're going to take your drum key. This is your tuning mechanism for the drums. Okay, and then you're going to want to, in the similar fashion of crisscross diagonal motion to apply even pressure, you're going to want to do about 2 turns on every lug. But before we do that, let me show you an example of what would happen if you didn't do that. You hit this, and you get that terrible flabby sound. So what we're going to do now is make the drum head taut so it resonates a good sound and gets a strong column of air going through the bottom of the shell. So to make the drum head taut, you will apply about 2 full turns and a diagonal motion across the drum and under. This pattern is strictly to make sure you're applying pressure evenly on the head so as not to contort the drum head. And after this, your drum will resonate a much better sound. But at first, possibly not the sound you want. Now you are producing at least a better tone. At least there's not a flabbiness, but the articulation is still possibly a little too resonant, maybe a little more than what you desire. So at this point, you can apply this as a moon gel, anything from muffling, any sort of muffling. This will help the articulation of the drum so it's not so long and resonant, but more short and punchy. And that is one aspect of tuning you can help with the muffling. That helps the articulation of the drum sound. Now the other aspect of the drum tune that you're looking for is the actual pitch. So if you want a higher pitch coming out of the drum, you simply give a few more turns on every lug in the same crisscross pattern as earlier, and this will make the drum resonate a higher pitch. And if you want a lower pitch, you can loosen the drum lugs. I hope this has been an informative demonstration, and the world will now be fuller with better tuned drums.